What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about Bill Goldberg. Billy Goldberg, he came out and he did a recent interview with 93.7 The Ticket where he discussed his wrestling future. And he made some very interesting comments, some of which he's made in the past, some of which is new. But I find him in a very interesting spot. So, let's break it down. Transcription is on rswrestlingnews.com. You can check it out there and the full interview. So, Goldberg obviously came back in 2017 to WWE after a multi-year hiatus. Over a decade, he had been gone from not only WWE, but from wrestling after his one-year stint in WWE from 2003 to 2004. He finished up at WrestleMania 20 and worked with Brock Lesnar. He came back, and who did he work with? Brock Lesnar. He did a run. It ultimately ended with Goldberg doing the honors for Brock at WrestleMania 33. He took some time off and then came back. He won the Universal title for a second time when he defeated The Fiend, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt. And then he just started doing some shows here and there. A few WrestleManias. He did a SummerSlam match with Dolph Ziggler, and then he started really just transitioning over to Saudi Arabia events. He worked with the likes of Bobby Lashley, The Undertaker in a god-awful match, as well as his most recent bout in February of 2022 at the Elimination Chamber event where he put over our Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And that was his last match. And he had stated in previous interviews that, look, I have one match left on my deal. I'm just waiting for WWE to call. They never called. Therefore, at the end of 2022, the WWE Hall of Famers contract with the WWE expired. And that upset him. And that is something that he talks about in this interview, which we're about to break down. He had claimed back in March that he was owed a retirement match by WWE, but he didn't really elaborate on that. He does here, and apologies for me looking off screen here, but let me read it. He said, I'll stop the rumor mill right now when asked regarding what his wrestling future is. The reason for these rumors, aka AEW, is because Vince McMahon and I had a handshake understanding that after the Roman Reigns match, I would have a proper retirement match. That hasn't come to fruition yet. Therefore, nobody puts a stamp on my career. Nobody tells me when I'm done, period. End of story. When someone tells me that, I kind of like to fight against it. I like to do things my own way. I go out there on my own way. I certainly don't go out there, under Roman Reigns 3 weeks after having COVID and agreeing to a match. If I go on a world tour and promote it myself, that's a possibility. Hey, I'm a businessman, and I'm unfortunately in the position where I firmly believe I can still make it happen. At the end of the day, like I said, I do believe that my character deserves a proper send-off, and until that happens, I don't believe I'm hanging them up. Anything and everything is an option, and I'm very much leaning towards promoting it myself and doing a 4-city world tour. Let the rumor mill start up after that, end quote. That's a direct quote from Bill Goldberg. You can check it out on rswrestlingnews.com. Is he going to go to AEW? I don't think so. It doesn't fit their model. Could he go back to WWE? Probably. Especially now with Vince taking over creative more and more. I can see that. I don't see necessarily a Triple H bringing back a Goldberg. But at the end of the day, just because he has, chief content officer or chief creative officer or whatever the hell his title is, we all know Vinnie Mac is making the big time decisions. He lets Triple H book his week to week, yada, yada, yada. But if Vince don't like something or Vince wants to do something or Vince wants to change something, Vince is going to do it. At the end of the day, that's where we're at. If Vinnie Mac wants to bring back Billy Goldberg, then Grandpa Bill can come back and wrestle again. So we'll see how it all plays out. But that's the latest on Bill Goldberg and his wrestling future as of April 2023.